Good afternoon, ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for clicking that button and joining me for today's video. Hope you're all well. Now, for you awesome folk that follow me on my socials, you will be well aware for the last month I've been wearing a new smartwatch. That is correct. The awesome folk over at Kospet sent me their Kospet Tank T4 smartwatch. My daily watch, the Mudmaster G-Shock, has been put aside to see how we get on with this on a day-to-day basis. So stay tuned to the video because we are going to look at all its features, functions, and see how I did fare myself using this watch on a daily basis. Right out of the box, the Tank T4 feels like a premium tank. Unlike a lot of competitors that use plastic painted to look like metal, this case and backplate are built from heavy-duty Inox 360 stainless steel. It has a reassuring heft to it, about 77 grams about the strap, but it doesn't feel ridiculously bulky on the wrist. The screen is a beautiful 1.43-inch AMOLED panel that pushes up to 1000 nits of peak brightness. Even out here in direct daylight, reading notifications or looking at the trail routes is crisp and easy. It's covered by 3rd gen Corning Gorilla Glass, and the watch has survived 20 different MIL STD 810H military durability tests. It's also rated for 10 atmospheres and IP69K, which means it doesn't just laugh off a heavy rainstorm. It actually features dedicated free diving and scuba modes down to 45 meters. For daily usability, it runs on the Apex OS. The interface is buttery smooth with zero lag when swiping between your widgets, health metrics, and the 180 plus sport modes. It handles Bluetooth calls well with a surprisingly loud built-in speaker, and the battery life is absolutely liberating. You get around 14 to 15 days of typical use out of the 500 mAh battery, although keeping continuous GPS tracking on will drop that down to roughly 21 hours. Right, now let's talk about the headline feature. Now, in all honesty, we're not buying this watch for the step tracking or the health metrics. Every single smartwatch on the market does this. We're buying this watch purely for the navigation feature. Most standard smartwatches rely on single frequency GPS, which only picks up what is called the L1 signal frequency. The problem, if you are hiking in dense woods, walking through deep canyons, or standing around tall city buildings, that single signal bounces off obstacles, making your tracking line jump all over the place. The Tank T4 utilizes dual band GNSS, L1 plus L5. By utilizing 2 different antenna frequencies simultaneously across 6 satellite systems, including GPS, Galileo and GLONASS, the watch filters out those bounced signals. In real-world testing, this cuts down positioning errors significantly, giving you an accuracy sweet spot of around plus or minus 2 meters. When you are out tracking a route, you can swipe right during the workout to use features like straight line return or track back to guide you exactly along the path you walked. But to make the absolute most of this dual antenna setup, you need to utilize the watch's local storage to load real offline maps. So the real reason we're going to be picking up the Kospet Tank T4 smartwatch is for the offline map feature. The offline map feature on the watch will allow you to navigate using the watch alone, independently of the phone. So we're going to go through the procedure very quickly. It's very simple. What you will need is obviously your watch, the charging base, and we'll need to connect that to the laptop and enable MTP protocol, like so. You'll see 2 files have turned up here, map and music. Map is the one we're interested in. And then we're going to open the browser. And in the search bar, we're just going to type Kospet support, or we've got one there, Kospet offline maps. And this will take you straight to the map section on the screen. So this has recently just been updated, as I've just been informed, and this is now the new map outlay. So up here, you've got your search for location. So here you can type in the area of map you want to search for and download. So I've already put a few in the watch now, so we're going to go to, let's put Cardiff, Wales. Search for that. And there we go, that gives you a nice chunk of Cardiff to explore. Now we can name it a custom name so it's easier to find, so we're just going to put in Cardiff, Wales. Cardiff, Wales. Let's just put in Cardiff. And then we're going to download the map. Now you will also need WinRAR installed into your laptop, so we can unpack the file and extract that straight to the map file on the watch. There we go. So we can click that. And now we have the Cardiff file here, and we're going to extract to, using the extract to button. We're going to go to the USB drive that the watch is connected to. In my case, it's drive E. Click map and then OK. This will then extract the map files in that folder to your map file on your watch. Settings, map manager, and then you'll see there is Cardiff. So then we can go off that, and again we can go to explore, and again when you're outside, depending the region you're in, the area you're in, you can select that map, and that will allow you to navigate with the watch itself. Because the Tank T4 features an exceptional 32GB of internal storage, you can store full geographic map layers directly on your wrist. And the good news is this process is now fully wireless, which means you can download these maps through your app on your mobile device. Once those map files are on your wrist, you can navigate over to the Apex Move mobile app and plot a custom path or import a standard GPX trail file. Send this to the watch. When you hit the trail, just open the navigation tab by My Routes, and your path will overlay perfectly on top of your local landscape map. Now, ladies and gents, let's talk about the good and the bad regarding the Tank T4 watch from Kospet. So first of all, durability. And I can attest to this watch's durability. This is an extremely rugged watch. As you may know, I'm a postman, and as part of my job, I'm in and out of gardens, in and out the van, and on a few occasions I have knocked this watch on garden gates, and a particularly bad one on the van door. And when I hit this on the van door, I got shivers on the back of my neck, and I thought, that's it, I've done the screen. I looked at it, and the bezel on the watch, with this being Inox 360 stainless steel, this took the paint off the door, didn't leave even a blemish on the watch. And the screen, again, is Gorilla Glass 3. I haven't even got a single mark on that, not even the slightest scratch in direct sunlight there. The watch is absolutely in pristine condition. Now again, regarding the functionality that this watch offers the end user, this offers way more functions than my G-Shock Mudmaster. Now the Mudmaster is a great outdoor tool. It has biometric pressure, elevation, waypoint indicator, tracks your steps, things like that. This offers that and many more functions. Functions on this watch I found myself using more than I thought I would was the one button press body scan, where it tracks all your biometrics, your mood, things like that. I found that quite fun. And also the sports modes. I've been using this to track my steps and driving at work. The step tracker is a bit iffy. It does tend to still count up quite a lot when I'm driving, but I think many step trackers would do the same. But the 180 plus sport modes in this watch as well are quite fascinating. I've gone through them one by one, and there's sports in there I didn't even know existed. And it's that good. I was actually home alone one night last week watching a bit of late night TV, and the watch pinged. I looked at it and it asked me if I was making a protein shake. I wasn't. Other functions this allows, such as making calls, accepting calls. When I've used smartwatches in the past, as soon as this watch starts ringing, I'll just pull my phone out of the pocket, use the phone. In this case, I've actually been using the phone to make and receive phone calls. The audio is nice and clear. This is the special edition version of the Kospet Tank T4, meaning you get a stainless steel strap in the kit as well. Unfortunately, I think Kospet have missed a trick there, because now although the stainless steel strap does look nice and that can be paired with the watch for more social occasions, there's no micro fine adjustment on that strap length, and my wrist seems to be in between sizes with that strap, It's either too tight, or if I add a link, it's too slack. Now, if the only reason of this being a special edition watch was adding the stainless steel bracelet in the first place, they could have added some fine adjustment along the clasp of that bracelet to make it more comfortable for the user, the wearer. Casio do it, and I know many other watch brands do it, so I think again they've missed a bit of a trick there. Unfortunately, that bracelet is either too tight or too big for my wrist. I will say though, the silicone gel strap that comes in the kit as well is very comfortable and has many adjustments, so you should get a perfect fit with that. Under my personal use of the watch, I've been getting around 4 or 5 days out of the watch before it needs charging again, which is very simple. It basically just comes with the magnetic charging base plate. Just lay that flat, it'll charge within a couple of hours. But the advertise around 2 weeks, that could be possible, but I do mess about with a lot of the functions on this watch, so 4 or 5 days, which I'm quite happy with. Gets me through the end of the week, and then I can just slap it on for a quick charge and put it back on the wrist. It is very comfortable to wear and it doesn't really get in the way. I will say though as well, regarding the stainless steel strap, now one issue I found that I experienced was when I was wearing the watch with the bracelet and I had coat sleeves or jumper sleeves over that watch, when I tried to pull it over, sometimes it unclasped the bracelet on both links. So when I pulled my sleeve over, the watch was fully loose, which could fall off the hand, and again on a road or in a canal or a river or wherever you might be. So do be careful with that. Other ways in which I've used this watch, I've used it to track my sleep, which I found quite interesting, and also the watch will give you a short briefing in the morning when you wake up regarding weather, yesterday's activities, and any plans, training plans you've programmed into the watch for that day. I've really enjoyed using the watch, and again its functionality has offered me things that I didn't think I'd ever use, to be honest. As you can see there, we're in direct bright sunlight and the screen is still very legible. Very easy to see what's on the screen, but I'll just go through a quick itinerary of the functions this watch offers before we wrap the video up. So workouts, training plans, workout records, heart rate, blood oxygen, stress, mood, one tap measurement, which is one I use quite frequently, activities, sleep, calls, notifications, weather, alarms, calendar, music. This watch does have 32 gig of local storage, so you can store music and maps on there as well. Calculator, compass, barometric pressure, navigation, ambient temp, flashlight, walkie-talkie. That's an interesting one. If someone has the same watch as you, you can use that as a walkie-talkie up to 45 or 50 meters, I do believe. And we also have a voice assistant, so you can use this to talk to your phone in your pocket, and that will act as Gemini AI. Couple more features in there. We have sun and moon setting times and rising, world clock, exercise, so you can have a breathing exercise as well. Stopwatch, timers, a camera remote, which is very important to me and one I've been using through this video. Extremely glad that is on there, and that saves me walking back and forwards to my phone to record. And we've also got a find phone function on there, so loads of functionality, more than you could probably shake a stick at. One thing it doesn't offer is NFC, so you won't be making payments with this watch. Again, you'll just have to reach into your pocket for your phone, but for what it does offer for the price, I think that is a fantastic bargain of a watch. Price, I've seen this for around 178 if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I will put it on the screen, but again, not a lot of money for the sort of functions and the final fitment you get in there with this watch. It's an absolute tank, which is kind of in the name. Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to wrap this video up here because I am baking in the sun on the balcony, but I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you are interested in picking one of these up yourself, I will leave all links in the description box below. If they have supplied me with a discount code, I will leave that in there as well. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Until the next one, you stay safe, and as always, stay crafty. See you again. Bye bye.